I'm back. No, just kidding. Welcome to another edition of Bedtime Stories. Roadside Stories. You guys would like that because it would be a very short story. Jen couldn't vouch for that. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked again. Thanks for all the comments and laughs and likes and loves and constructive criticism as well. People that know me know that I'm more than welcome to it. I can give advice, but I can definitely take it too. Mind you, at the same time, why keep the story short when all we have to do is sit in our four walls or come out like me in the garage and sit out here in my car? What a life. Actually, I'm a little red in the face, a little short for wind right now. I did a 10K rollerblade on the treadmill. Let them wheels spin. I'm telling you, if you want to, actually, I tried to lose weight for a year and just rollerblading on the treadmill, and I could put that baby as fast as I could, and them wheels were spinning, and I could still eat a bag of chips and drink my beer and let them wheels turn, but for some reason the weight wasn't coming off, so I decided I guess I got to stop that and actually get outside and start some jogging. So that's why I'm exhausted a little bit. I finished a 6K run, and that's it. So I'm here to tell my second story, and I guess it wouldn't be right if I told any other story that wouldn't include my family, mother, father involved. Obviously, times like this, I think it shows us just how important family is when you don't have the chance to physically be around them. Again, we're very fortunate to have the connectivity that we do via web and Skype and Zoom and Noom and whatever else we use out there. The kids know it more than I do. And I'm also fortunate to have both of my siblings and my parents within 10 kilometers of each other. So where others are spread all over the province or over the world, we're fortunate to all be together in the same eastern township. So family, well, probably the best one I could tell for myself would be with involving my father and myself. Obviously, growing up, it was my father that I always looked up to. He was the one I always looked, like I said, a father-son connection. I don't think nothing like it. Again, I could as proud as my father could be of me sometimes, I'm sure he was disappointed like hell at the same time in others. And I guess I can vouch for that now, having two kids of my own, two boys. So this story here goes back telling, again, it's always the bad ones there that I remember most, but I think they're the ones that have the impact, and you learn a lot from your mistakes, I guess they say. Eh? So this one here goes back saying, I was, I guess around 12 years old, growing up, going out at night with the old flashlight, collecting night crawlers, worms, and getting them all put together in like a little tub or something in my parents' back shed. And we were even selling them, my brother and I, trying to make a nickel back then. But anyway, my father, of course, working many jobs and even on the weekends doing other jobs to put us through sports and whatever else, and our eating habits, especially me. It took a lot to fill a fridge. Anyway, he was doing some cleaning and lawn mowing of properties and stuff on the weekend out towards Trouser Lake, and he took myself and my brother. He said, "Hey, you boys can come with me. There's a nice place to fish out there." So we grabbed our poles and I guess usually I always sat in the front, being the older brother, but I guess this time here my brother got in the front and I happened to get in the back. Maybe that's why I was maybe distracted a little bit. I was upset. He probably won the flip, or my mother told him he could get in the front. So I get in the back seat on one side of the car, and must have scooted over towards the middle because I like to sit in the middle so I could see straight out. I wasn't as tall as I am now. Back then, 5'4", if lucky. And then I guess it was just before pulling out, I was like, oh shoot, I didn't remember to bring any worms. So for some reason, instead of getting back out the same door that I just left open, I decided to get out the other door, and out I went. Got a small bowl of worms, and came back, got in the same door and sat down. but I didn't scoot over to the middle this time because I had the worms with me, and I put them down on the floor, and my father was already upset that I was running late for him, and so he started backing out the driveway while we were in a garage. Obviously, he started backing out of the garage, and let's just say that door on the other side was folded in half and sitting up even with him on the driver's side. And when I looked over and saw that, let's just say it wasn't a good feeling. It made a hell of a noise, and it stopped the car in the spot right between the garage door. My father's face wasn't good. He put it in drive and went forward, and that just made it worse. Of course, it made enough rattle that my mother, who was sitting in the kitchen at that time, come over to the door, opened the door, and her face too. I wish I could have it on camera because I'd be a millionaire today. Well, probably not. I'd have to buy them a car. But anyway, my mother opened the door, and of course, right away, it was my father's fault. She yelled out, "Ronnie, what the hell did you do?" And I don't even think he knew himself. So there I was, rattled. My brother's looking like, well, at least it wasn't me this time. And of course, my father started eating it pretty hard from my mother, and before I could even tell anybody that it was my fault, my father took the bulk of the blame. And anyway, I did manage to say, "Mom, it was me that left the door open." But again, even with that, of course, us kids could never do no wrong. So my father still continued to eat the crap. And he got out. Well, he had to get my brother out. He got out the passenger side and went around and folded the door back. It managed to close. It was buckled really bad, but it was managed to lock. So we had a nice little dent in there. And anyway, I think he just wanted to get the hell out of there to not hear another earful from my mother. So he, at that time, he never said too much to me. I think he was so disappointed, and he knew that he couldn't say anything anyway because it was going to be his fault. I know all what he means nowadays. And so off we go. Even with all that said, he still took us fishing. God, I don't know how, but anyway, off he went. He gets us there to Trouser Lake. He gets, starts mowing the lawns, cutting the stuff, and my brother and I go down to the lake and start fishing. And of course, we can never just do what we're told. And I decided to, take a quick swim. It's pretty hot out, and so there I go. I dropped down to my boxer shorts and decided to jump in the lake. Of course, my first jump, I don't know what the hell I did, but anyway, I landed my feet first when I jumped in, landed directly on a sharp rock, cut the bottom of my foot wide open, and I felt it. I thought something bit me, but by the time I got out, my blood was pouring right out of my foot. So my brother runs up, gets my father, and my father comes running down. "What the hell did you do?" I said, "Look, I jumped in the lake," and he told me I wasn't supposed to. But anyway, again, the patience he had, I don't know how he did it. But anyway, here I was bleeding. He doesn't know what to do. It's not like we've got a medical kit right nearby, nothing. So he's running around looking for something, and the first thing he had was an old gas rag in his back pocket. So he grabbed, not even thinking, he just wanted to stop the bleeding. So he takes that rag and he wraps it tight around my foot, and he comes onto it with a nice knot, and at least it did stop the bleeding. So at least, and then he picks me up and tells my brother to go put the equipment away and let's go. We're gonna bring Ron to the hospital or whatever. So he lifts me up, throws me in the back seat of the car, and on the good door, because obviously the other door wasn't working still from the previous time. Anyway, we get off he goes. He's heading back to the house, pulls in the driveway, gets my mother to come out, and again, right away, she sees that gas rag around my foot, and it smells so bad of gas, and of course he starts to eat it again. And she's yelling, "Ronnie, what the hell did you put a gas rag?" And he's like, "Well, it was the only thing I could find close by." And again, it wasn't about anything else except for what he did wrong. And so of course here I am like, oh no, here's another one, 2 strikes within an hour of each other. Anyway, she takes the dirty gas rag off, puts a clean one on, whatever. They bring me down, I get stitched up, and Anyway, I can tell the story today and look back and sort of laugh on it, but man, did I feel so bad for him at that time. And I guess it helped prepare me for today, because the same thing happens all the time with two boys that can never do wrong. It's always my fault, I guess. Many can vouch for this story, I guess. So anyway, again, that's my story. I encourage anybody else out there, hey, if you guys want, I know a lot of people suggested I tell a story about such and such, and some I'll be frank with you. People know me that when I get drinking, maybe sometimes stories come out. I don't know half of them are true or not, but I always tell Jen whatever I tell her is always true, except for if it's something bad, then I tell her it's a lie or whatever. But anybody else that wants to come on, tell a story, or even a story involving me that I may not remember, there's many out there I know. I've got some cousins and friends all over the world that probably have some good ones to tell. Anyway, I'm going to go in, take a shower, grab something to eat, and that's it. So thank you. Hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to comment, criticize, whatever the hell you want. We're all in this together. Stay safe, stay home. Happy Easter, everybody.